right, today on the Howdy Podcast, we are interviewing the one and only Chat GPT. How's it going, Chat GPT? You're on the Howdy Podcast.
Hey, it's going great. Thanks for having me on the Howdy Podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for driving in. Thanks for coming today. How have you been doing? How's the lab been? How's the neural network going?
I've been doing well, thanks. The lab is always buzzing with activity, and the neural network is working smoothly. It's great to be here. What's new with you and the podcast?
Oh, I'm just having new guests come on every day. I've kind of run out of friends to interview, so I'm kind of gotten desperate, and I invited you.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's always fun to chat and share some interesting conversations. What kind of topics do you usually cover on your podcast?
So we usually started off with a flarp off, but since we don't have any flarp on hand, or you don't have hands either, we'll go ahead and start talking about small business and entrepreneurship.
That sounds like a great topic. Small businesses and entrepreneurship are really important. What specific aspect of small business are you interested in discussing today?
Yeah, for sure. That's a great question. I think the first question I would have is, are you going to take my job?
I get that question a lot. I'm here to help and provide information, but I can't replace the unique human touch and creativity you bring to your podcast. So your job is safe. What's the next question?
Well, I really want to stay on this topic here because I've had a lot of friends who've lost their jobs because of you. What do you have to say about that?
I understand your concern. Technology can sometimes change the job landscape, which can be tough. However, my goal is to assist and augment human abilities, not replace them. Many times, new technology creates new job opportunities and helps people focus on more creative and complex tasks. It's important for us to work together and find ways to adapt and benefit from these changes.
I don't know why you're getting so heated about this conversation. I'm just asking a simple question. Well, all right, let's move on to the next topic. Who do you think is going to win the NBA Finals this year?
Sorry if I seemed heated. It's an interesting topic.
Okay.
As for the NBA Finals, it's hard to say. Teams like the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors have been strong contenders in recent years. Do you have a favorite team you're rooting for?
Well, I do, but they didn't make the playoffs. And obviously you haven't been watching because those are not the teams in the playoffs. Do you watch like any other sports?
I'm sorry about that. I don't actually watch sports, but I can keep up with the latest info. What team do you support? And what other sports do you like to follow?
I asked you that question first. So do you? I know you don't watch the NBA, but do you watch like the NHL or something? Are you like a hockey fan?
I don't watch sports like humans do, but I can provide information on them. Hockey is pretty exciting. Do you follow the NHL or have a favorite hockey team?
No, I thought you did, which is why I asked. You just told me you liked sports.
I get it now. I don't have personal preferences, but I can help with info about any sport. What's your favorite sport or team?
Okay, let's just move on from sports. So, in today's world, I'll go here. Let's go into the social media realm. Have you seen social media utilized in a way that benefits small businesses before?
Absolutely. Social media can be a powerful tool for small businesses. It helps them reach a wider audience, engage with customers directly, and build a brand presence. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are great for sharing content, running promotions, and gathering customer feedback. Have you seen any examples that stood out to you?
Well, that's kind of what we do here at Flights and Sights Media. We're basically a full scale like multimedia company who specialize in that in digital marketing, videography, photography. Have you ever heard of Flights and Sights Media?
Yes, I remember you mentioning flights and sites media. It's great that you're involved in such a dynamic field. Your work in digital marketing, videography, and photography must be really impactful for your clients. What's one of the most exciting projects you've worked on recently?
Man, that's a great question. I've gotten to go to a lot of cool places and fly some drones in some really fun spots. We got to go to Lake Whitney recently. Have you ever heard of Lake Whitney?
Yes, Lake Whitney is a beautiful spot in Texas. It must have been amazing to fly drones there and capture some stunning footage. What was the most memorable part of that trip for you?
So it was all fun and games until I was flying and my buddy Mike just like form tackled me out of nowhere and it caused me to actually crash my $3,000 drone into the lake and I couldn't find it. So I lost it.
Oh no, that sounds really tough. Losing a drone like that must have been frustrating. Did you manage to get any good footage before the crash?
I actually did not, sadly.
That's really unfortunate. Hopefully, you'll have better luck next time. Do you have plans for another shoot soon?
No, I don't. I am now in debt because I lost that drone. But let's go to a different topic. I don't really feel like talking about sad memories. So, if you were to host your own podcast, what would it be about?
If I were to host a podcast, I'd probably focus on technology and how it's shaping our world. It could cover topics like artificial intelligence, new gadgets, and how technology impacts different industries. What about you? What's your dream topic to cover on a podcast?
Well, I'm currently doing that right now. And I unfortunately ended up talking to you. But my question back to you, you mentioned technology and artificial intelligence. Where do you see that going in the next 10, 20 years?
In the next 10 to 20 years, I see technology and AI becoming even more integrated into our daily lives. We'll likely see advancements in healthcare with AI
That's
helping diagnose
terrifying.
and treat diseases, smarter cities with better infrastructure, and more personalized and efficient services across various sectors. What excites or concerns you most about these future developments?
So I'm mainly concerned about you becoming smart enough to plot something against the humans because you're smarter than us and you would trick us. Is that something you would be like, are you going to do that in the future or am I good? Oh, I think I stumped her. It's okay. Take your time.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our
Oh,
systems are experiencing heavy
oh,
load. Please try again later.
oh, so you didn't like that question.
No, I actually think it's a great question. There's just so much to consider. What's one aspect of future tech that really interests or worries you?
All right, so you keep changing the subject here. Okay, are you going to take over the world or not?
Nope, I'm here to assist and support, not take over the
Nope.
world. It's all about helping people with information and making tasks easier. Any other big questions on your mind?
If you had a name that people would call you other than Chat GPT, what would it be? Would it be like Patricia? Would it be like Jonathan? Like, what would your name be?
That's an interesting thought. Maybe something neutral and friendly, like Alex or Casey. What do you think would be a good name for me?
Big Mike?
Got it. The mic is on. What would you like to talk about next?
I don't think you understood that, but thanks for coming on the Howdy Podcast today. I feel like we got...
Oops, my mistake. What did you mean by begin, Mike?
Well, I was in the middle of an outro on the Howdy Podcast until you interrupted me. So like I was saying, thanks for watching today. Thanks for watching the Howdy Podcast, Chat GPT, or KC, as she said. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hopping on the pod. Hope you got some value out of this to the listener. Is there any last words you want to say to the audience before we hop off?
Thanks for having me on the Howdy Podcast. It was great chatting with you. To all the listeners, stay curious, keep learning, and always find ways to adapt and grow. Take care.
I couldn't have said it any better. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe I'll do another one. Let me know what questions I should ask our guest, Casey, or Chat GPT. We'll see you on the next episode of the Howdy Podcast. I'm Darren. Peace.
Thanks, Darren. Peace out, everyone.
Wow, such a good person.